some of the worst advice going around for course creators right now that all sorts of gurus and experts will tell you with really good intentions is that you should run your course live as a live training or webinar and then use that recording, upload it as your course, and boom, you have an evergreen course. So why is this bad advice? What aren't they telling you? Well, I want to break that down in this video, and I also want to show you exactly how you can take that advice and spin it in a way that makes you stand out as an exceptional course creator and helps your students get through your course, experience the transformation that you aim for them, and become repeat customers. My name is Dustin Bakkie, and welcome to Anyone Can Teach. Why is this bad advice, and why are these really successful online course creators telling me to do it if it's bad advice? The thing here is, from a teaching perspective, we can take that online training and tweak it just a little bit to make it a really good experience. So I'm not saying not to do that. I'm saying let's do it intentionally a little bit better. If you just record and upload that full hour-long or 2 or 3 hour-long videos to your course, that's not really broken up in a way that makes sense. That's like saying, hey, jump in the car, close your eyes, and when you wake up, we'll be at the destination. A lot of what goes into a transformation or learning is the process. And so if we don't really understand the process, and if it doesn't have a clearly defined route, we're going to get lost along the way. Secondly, think about what you are doing when you watch hour-long webinars or trainings. I bet you that you probably navigate elsewhere. You probably are listening to it while you are cooking or cleaning or driving. Those aren't necessarily bad things, but you also aren't retaining as much as you could. So if your goal is to get your students to really learn what you're trying to teach them, this isn't an effective avenue. It's too long of a video for them to really hold their attention and keep focus, and there's no pauses to really let learning sink in or to give students a chance to actually apply what they've just learned. And finally, honestly, it just looks sloppy and lazy. You will look like just every other course creator out there who held a live training and uploaded it and called it a course. But what I'm about to tell you is going to help you stand out. It's going to fix all of those issues and create a really great learning experience for your customers. So just before we get into that, I'd like to ask you to humbly like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell notification, especially if it is helping you out and you want more content like this. That really goes a long way to helping me, the course creator, out and really helping spread this message. Let's get into what you can do to shift that advice to your advantage. The way we approach this is actually in the planning stages. So before you even do your live training, we're going to be a bit more intentional about how we run that live training. So the first thing you are going to want to do is identify the different main areas of that training, maybe the modules or the themes or the units that can fit as their own little entities. So maybe step 1, step 2, step 3, or topic 1, 2, 3. If you need help understanding how to do this, I've got a video linked right above that can help you out. So once you have identified these, what you are going to do is you're going to create in your slide deck a nice introduction at the beginning of it and a nice wrap up at the end of it. So just a little slide that introduces it and has a few key recap points at the end of it. What this will do is it will help break up your flow, and if you let your live attendees know that, hey, I'm going to be editing this down and repurposing it for a course, and so we will do some pauses as we transition between the different topics. They're not going to be upset about that. They'll be like, okay, cool, it gives me a moment to breathe. And so all you have to do is kind of take a little reset as you're talking, give it a chance to pause. That way, in post-editing, it looks like you were just filming that little area. Now, what about the interacting with the audience part? During a live training, you want to talk and ask questions. One of the things that I encourage you to do here is work through your slide deck in those short chunks. Aim for like 5 to 10 minutes. Hit that recap slide and then ask questions. And what this does is you know that the training, the learning part is in those 5 to 10 minute chunks, and then there's the recap slide, and then you're asking questions for the audience. And what you can do is you can make that a bonus as part of your course. So you can edit all those out into their own chunk of Q&A. It will allow students who are watching the replay or bought the course later to framework where those questions are coming from, because the recap slide will be on screen while you're answering questions. Another thing that you can do here to really set this apart is with that recap slide, put a call to action on it or some sort of actionable step to get your students engaged with your materials, so that once it becomes a course, what can happen is at the end of that module, you have some action steps for them to take that are built in. What do they need to pause and write down or brainstorm or apply? These are great little pieces to allow them to digest your content in small chunks and then apply it before moving to the next one. All of this goes to improving the learning that they're getting from your course. So I want to give you a little sneak peek into someone who does this really well. And he does this really well, and it's part of what makes him so successful. And so I'm going to show you the inside of one of Pat Flynn's courses. And don't worry, Pat, if you are watching, I'm not going to give away any of your secrets. I just want to highlight your structure as a big shout out, because you're doing a really great job of this, and it's one of the things that I am so impressed with. So let's look at the inside of one of Pat Flynn's courses. Again, no spoilers here for what's actually in. Okay, so here we are in Pat Flynn's Smart from Scratch course, and I want you to notice that all of these videos are short. The longest one you see in there is about 17 minutes, and that is much longer than even the others, and he's got it broken down to these nice little sections, stage 1, stage 2, and if we look inside this welcome video, there's a little bit of sentence at the top, a video to welcome his students and set them up, and some detailed notes where it really sets his students up for how to navigate this course, what to do through each step. There's some external links that are important, and then at the very bottom, he has all of the downloads and the discussion points. As you were able to see, this is what it looks like to take a course and structure into small digestible chunks with clear calls to action and additional explainers. And you can do this with repurposing your live content. That is a great way to save time and make this more manageable for you, while also better serving your students and standing out as a more effective teacher. Your students, your customers will learn so much from you. They will be so impressed with the experience, and they will return. They will pay you more money for your services. So don't miss out on the potential of customer retention with this little tweak of just changing the course content a bit. I really appreciate you being here and watching this, and I've got a couple of other videos on the screen for you that I think you'll find interesting or helpful. We'll see you next time.